Go with 35.
35 sounds good to me. You know, what's the worst that could happen?
And we are live.
I think my internet's just going to be a bit rubbishy.
Oh, we don't have to be on forever, do we?
It's just too nice to go in just yet, unfortunately.
It's lovely.
Really
I've been
nice
out the back. I haven't ventured out front yet, other than to scrub the table, which I thought I'd best do.
Yeah.
And, some birds had used one of my chairs as a convenience, so I had to scrub one of the chairs.
Oh, that's not very nice.
It's just a bit rude, isn't it?
Have you got coffee?
I've got a latte. Just a plain latte, no
I
flavour.
have a mango and strawberry tea.
Oh, that sounds nice. I really like mango.
Yeah, it's really refreshing. It's lovely.
I like the pepperiness of mango.
Yeah, I like mango flavour, but I don't like mangoes. I find they're a bit slimy and I can't eat them.
Oh, hi, Deborah. So what are you up to today?
I wonder if everybody else has got such nice weather.
I think most of the country's got this, and I would imagine large swathes of Europe.
I'm going to get out early and cut the grass tomorrow because it's too hot at the moment. You know, all that physical work
or
in
is
the
this
heat.
a different lawn?
It's the same one. It's really grown. It's full of dandelions and everything. The problem was because it was so long before, I had to do it on the highest level. So it's grown quite quickly.
Right, I'm with you.
I started something new last night. How gorgeous is this? Can you see it?
Oh, I like the yarn.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's cotton. It's for my stepdaughter's baby, like a burp clothy type thing, just to put over your shoulder.
All right, so this is so that you don't get the 50p coin of sick stains on every outfit you own.
That's the one, yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah. So it's really lovely.
And once he wolfed his bottle so fast, and then I honestly thought his head was going to spin round like The Exorcist, because I'd put a 4-ounce bottle of milk into him and about 17 pints came out.
You know what is it with liquid? No matter whether it's a baby bringing its bottle back up or you knock a glass of water over or something, but there's never the same amount. There's like 2 ounces in a cup, yet there's 20 ounces when it spills. What's that about?
I don't know. I mean, it's desperately clever. I've done a little bit more on my cowl.
Ooh, exciting. Just in time for the warm weather.
Well, yeah, but I'm loving it. Do you not think I look fabulous in it? It's just, and it has my double chin, so I'm thinking this is a good look for me.
Can you pull it up as well while you're out and use it as like a bit of a barrier?
I could. Somebody have put a video on Facebook of a fella with one of them really big beards, you know, like ZZ Top sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to put a face mask on and it kept pinging off his chin because obviously there's this swathe of undergrowth from his face. So his decision then was to fold the beard up, tuck it under a beanie hat, and then put the mask on over the top and some sunglasses.
Like an extra layer. It's perfect.
Not that you could see, because his face was covered with beard. I mean, it was an enormous beard.
That's just a mere technicality. He doesn't need to see, does he?
No, possibly not. Somebody will have laughed anyway.
My friend Anne.
I was just thinking, sorry?
I was saying my friend Anne, because I'm sure it was Anne, had posted this thing about a woman with a big glass saucepan lid, and she put it in front of her face and then put her hoodie over it and pulled the hoodie tight so the hoodie held the saucepan lid in place.
Yeah, there's a lot of people doing that one, and you just think, oh. Yeah, knowing me,
trip over.
Yeah, it would be my best pan lid, and I'd break it.
Yeah, it was quite amusing though, to be fair. Obviously, don't actually do it.
Yeah, people are coming up with some funny suggestions to.
Did you see that family? It was on the news this morning. The dad, I'm assuming it was the dad because it was the dad and the two kids, had built a proper ski slope in his back garden with plastic sheeting for the snow, and he's got a chairlift. So he's got the kids on the chair with their skis on, and it lifted them to the top, and then they skied down the plastic sheeting.
How awesome is that? What a great dad.
I know. It must have taken forever.
But, part of me is wondering, though, if there's a wife inside the house going, he still hasn't put the knobs back on the kitchen jars.
Yeah. The whole way
the door doesn't shut. We have to sing when we're on the toilet.
Yeah. All those little annoying jobs that he didn't want to do, but he was quite happy to engineer a ski lift.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. It's just what popped into my head, obviously. Yeah.
Well, the two girls seemed quite happy with what their dad had done for them, so
it is a pretty awesome thing to do, isn't it? Don't you think?
Those are the things that people will remember when they come out, though, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Your dad's an absolute nut job, and he built a ski slope.
Yeah. How wonderful is it? Oh, my
so jealous. My dad wouldn't even do a hedgehog house.
My dad tried to dig his own swimming pool when we were growing up.
Oh, no.
2 years. Absolutely. By hand with just a normal spade.
A shovel, yeah.
2 years he spent digging that flipping hole in the ground. And that's about as far as he got. It was a big one as well. It wasn't a little hole. It was a big old swimming pool.
Oh, good grief.
I know. I don't know why it never got finished. One would assume that Mum finally put her foot down. It was all right while he was being kept busy out of her hair. You go outside and dig that, darling.
Mike always wanted to put in the joiner's shop when he puts the roof on, which has been happening for, over a decade now.
Yeah.
Well, not yet. But he's always talked about putting one of them, is it a length pool where it's just wide enough for one person to do lengths and turn. Now, this is a man who can't swim. But has ambitions to learn to swim, but won't go to lessons.
Right.
And when I try and teach you, I take this, if we go on holiday, so I take this massive noodle thing. You could wrap it 4 times around a bear. It's that big. Wrap him up, get him into the water, and he can swim anywhere. Now, you could cut that noodle and take it away to the point where it was that big. And he can swim. Take it off him, and he sinks, panics, screams, shouts, and splutters, and coughs. And
oh, bless.
You just can't cope with it. And I don't know what it is about the security blanket of that noodle. I don't know whether his older brothers tortured him as a child, throwing him in a canal or something. Sorry?
If you put the little tiny bit of noodle in his shorts, psychologically have the same effect. He can still swim, but he's not holding on to it.
The first time I got him the noodle in, because Jake wanted one. Jake was, I'd paid for lessons, and this idiot teacher just allowed him to walk up and down the pool because he was the tallest, with his feet on the floor, waffing his arms, pretending to swim, because she couldn't be bothered to actually work with him.
Yeah.
So this was sort of the first holiday where Jake had actually swum properly, and he'd wanted the noodle, and within days didn't need it at all. And then Mike had this idea that what he should do with the noodle is wrap it round his stomach. And I'm sort of looking at him thinking, what are you on here? I'm really not sure what you're trying to achieve, and I'm not sure he knew either.
It's just, you know, faffing.
Yeah.
I do like noodles though, they're great fun. I like to sit on like it's a horse, so you've got the bit at the back behind you.
I think they're brilliant.
They are good, aren't they? Whoever invented them, genius.
How did I? No. Oh, okay. So I'm looking at this piece of knitting and thinking, what?
What have I done?
And I've got the pink wrap behind the blue again. I looked at it and thinking, oh, hang on a minute.
Okay.
I have the yarn. It's there. What is going on? So it's fine. Beyond my limited powers today. I don't know. I don't feel I am concentrating at the moment. Even work that easy stuff that I've been doing for decades.
It's harder.
I'm having to think much more about it, and I'm having issues with my password manager, which is just boiling my blood.
Right.
There's a couple of sites where I need templates and plugins and sort of essentially things, and the password manager isn't picking them up, and I keep trying to add them and it's coming up with ridiculous field names. So of course I go back to the site and it doesn't recognize the site, doesn't recognize that it's got a username and a password and stuff that's filled in, and it's coming up with all sorts of trash. But it's only happening on 2 sites, but I'm using them so much at the minute. So every time I have to go back through this swathe of emails over the last month to try and find the username, and they're all in separate emails, and and I don't like writing stuff down.
Sounds so frustrating.
It's annoying. All I wanted to do just work. just kind of do your thing that you're paid to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't want out fancy. Just pick up these usernames and passwords and recognise the odd login page or two, you know.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, most of the time it's
stuff there.
Most of the time it's super reliable, I have to say. So how long do you make your burp cloth?
Well, to be honest, I've got that much wool and that's how long it's going to be.
That's a good plan.
Well, I mean, it's a 50-gram ball of cotton, so I just think it will be the size that it'll end up being, to be honest.
That's a good plan.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? Big or small, even if it's just one that you use to wipe a baby's mouth. You know, a little cloth that you just grab and wipe, or like I say, put on your shoulder or whatever.
Well, my mum never wiped. She kind of scraped your face roughly. She's not gentle at all, my mother.
Bless. Well, I mean, it's what's that, about the length of my forearm at the moment? That's because I haven't got a tape measure. It might be a square when I finish. It might not be a square. You can tell I'm really, really bothered about the dimensions, can't you?
Oh yeah, the perfectionist in you is just screaming at me right now.
Yeah. I'm just. Do you know what? I came out in the garden this morning. So I did my walk, my dog walk. I did my run. Did some cleaning and tidying up. Couldn't get in the shower at that point because then Callum had gone in the bath. Typical. So I think it must have been about 11:30. I came and sat out here. I've been in the shade all day, with the umbrella on me. I thought, I'll just sit outside and do some work. Well, do you know what? I don't think I've actually got much done.
Well, you've got some knitting done. That's work. I'm wondering if we should rename this collection the Couldn't Really Be Asked to Knit because it was Sunny collection.
Yeah.
But you're having a baby and I feel I've got to do something.
Yeah, we could call it that, couldn't we? I feel obligated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I've got loads of wool, and there's loads of things that I want to knit, like a onesie and a hat and some booties and all the rest of it. But last night, I just really, when you just can't be bothered. Again, like you say, the can't be bothered collection. I just wanted to knit something straight.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's just like that. Right, I need to put that
down
there.
You flashing that again. Beautiful.
Surreptitiously.
Little flashy flash.
Because it's got to be done. Got to be done.
We like to see it. We do like to see it.
One thing is, with the weather forecast, I think of the long range forecast on the BBC, I don't think there's a single day for us with rain. So I'm going to have plenty of good days for photography.
This is the thing. I did actually make a list of my patterns that are in various stages and what I've got left to do on each one.
Right.
And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. Every single one of them photos. So I really am going to have to pull my finger out. But the problem is my model refuses to get a hair wash and get into clothes at the moment.
Yeah, well, I've actually put some khaki jeans on.
Oh, I got my summer clothes out, so I am in 3/4.
See, I don't do crops because I've got such dry skin and my shins always look a bit chapped. So these are meant to be, is it an ankle grazer where it's just above your ankle? For somebody tall. I just look like a khaki overstuffed sausage in them at the minute, but it'll be fine. I did my workout today. I did Jessica Smith.
And how was it?
I quite enjoyed it, actually. I picked one of the 20-minute workouts and did a warm-up and a cool-down separate to that. I did about 4,000 steps, something like that, during the workout.
Well done.
And I picked one for bad knees because my left knee's a bit achy. I think because I'm kind of leaning in the chair, aren't I? Because it's comfortable for knitting. And then I get up and I must be pulling
right
or something.
I think you kind of you like that, aren't you? I can see you even now.
Yeah. I'm not very good at sitting straight. I mean, I can do it because we're off that generation where sit up straight, put your shoulders back.
That's why you don't like doing it.
Possibly, but I've always sat on an angle, and I think it's just a personality thing of, I don't know.
Maybe you should sit in front of your dresser again, because that was more of a proper chair, wasn't it?
It is a proper chair, and I'm planning to do that. I just need to work out what to do with my telly, because I've got the little telly at the moment. So I would have to move that back and put it onto the dresser, because otherwise I'm ducking under and over cables. Although I suppose I'm not going to be watching the telly whilst I'm live, so I could technically unplug nearly all of those cables, and life would not end.
Put them back in again later.
Yeah, and I figured out the issue with my my DVD. I found the DVD cable.
Excellent.
Hanging out of the back of the telly that's on the wall, waiting to be fixed as and when the shop opens again, because of course he's shut. So I'd saved up some money to either buy a new TV or repair this one, and I can't take it anywhere.
Fun.
So I'll take it in when he's open. But the cable was hanging out the back of that, and there's me thinking it's lost. The last place I thought to look.
Oh, nightmare.
What can I say? Not the smartest. And then I never found the audio cables, and I thought, oh well, this is a newer HDMI cable. Let's just plug it in with that. And all the audio worked perfectly, so I don't know what I was worried about. Maybe I had the cables in last time because it used to have to run through the skybox with my old TV, because I only had one HDMI, so I think it connected to the skybox with a SCART and those funny cables, so that could be the reason. Now people keep track of all this stuff.
It could be, well, I remember we never used to have very many HDMIs at one point. I don't know if it's because we thought that they were expensive or something, and then they came down in price. I don't really know, to be honest.
Oh, Helen's here. Hey, Helen.
Oh, hi, Helen.
How are the boys? Hope they're okay.
I'm sure they're enjoying the weather.
Oh, yeah. It is lovely.
Yeah.
I don't know that Mike's still got the message that it's okay to go to his businesses and check them.
You've not had an update
the other day about, oh, well, I don't want to break curfew. And I'm thinking, that's not part of the curfew. That's part of normal life. That's I don't think anyone that was an unreasonable thing to do.
I don't think so at all, personally.
Well, not least because you might have a vital piece of post for one of you know, if you're someone who pays business rates, you might have a vital piece of post about your 10k grant from the government to help you get through.
Well, exactly, and you know they need more people to be able to get those grants, don't they? And the loans and everything, because the banks aren't doing them properly. Oh
no, I mean, 85% of the loan or something is guaranteed by the government. And they're expecting the business owner to guarantee the rest. So the banks have no risk at all. And the interest rates are not friendly. But this is banks for you. You know, you have to remember it's a 4-letter word. And I seem to remember that we bailed them out when they acted like a bunch of drunken gamblers with the nation's
12
money.
years ago, yeah.
No.
Yeah. We always said banker with a W.
Yeah, I just have no time for him as an industry. I can't believe that anybody would think that they should be allowed to monitor themselves. I'm sorry, it's like putting a heroin addict in charge of all the methadone in the country and not expecting them to go nutty with it.
Yeah, pretty much like they've done that, you're right.
It happens, you know, about once a decade. About once a decade, I'm right.
And Donald Trump had a bit of a meltdown as well, didn't they?
Yeah, what was that about?
Well, I think because he's getting a lot of criticism about the way that he's dealt with it all, he's now trying to pass the blame on to who, isn't he? So.
Is anybody else going, who's on first?
Yeah. Doctor Who. Wow. I just the man, he just beggars belief, really, doesn't he, to be honest?
Astounding. Absolutely astounding.
And also I think he's starting to panic about the election, because a lot of people have realised that he's handling this badly, and it's not going to look good for his re-election, is it?
Well, I suppose it's one of those things, isn't it? You can only get away with smoke and mirrors for so long.
Well, I think up until this happened, he was pretty much on course for being re-elected again.
Yeah, who was it posted a quote? I think it was Stalin. Right. Apparently, to illustrate politics with somebody, he grabbed a chicken and ripped the feathers off one side of the chicken. Now, imagine how painful that was for the bird.
Yeah.
And then threw it back into the yard of wherever they were. Grabbed a handful of food and then got on the floor and fed the chicken, and it spent the rest of the day following him around. And he said, you can do anything you want as long as you feed them enough scraps to give them hope.
Yeah. And it is the same, it really is. Short memories.
Yeah. I would hope as a species we'd evolved beyond that level of stupid, but you know. My dad always says, never underestimate the genius of an idiot.
Exactly. I don't know. What can you say, eh? Oh, look at that.
Not slim I am now. Just one
flash,
chin.
I flash.
Oh no.
Is that like one shape? Is it?
It is.
Like one chin is like one shape.
One chin. Yeah, one chin.
Is that his brother?
No, the fellow that Geordie Gaboro, I think he was called it, Lana Stop, he was our sort of contact over there in Portugal. Michael used to call him One Sheep because he did look very like the guy.
Oh, bless.
Oh, but it was
Did he even know what it was all about, though?
No, I always made sure that if he muttered it, he got a good kick and out of the way. And he was told in no uncertain terms, you never ever say it anywhere near this man because he's really sweet, really hardworking. But I remember at the time they were going through the recession from the last banking crash, and he said that no young people had work at all. Oh, Helen says she's cutting out pockets. Are you still there, Emma, or have you frozen? No, we seem to be having some tech difficulties. No, not sure what's going on. I think it might be Emma's internet because she's outside and she's on obviously a Wi-Fi connection. Never mind. So Helen, are you making scrubs for the same lady? Oh, Emma says got kicked out of Zoom again. Let's try. More. Remove. Oh no. Put it in waiting room. So I've binned her out to the waiting room and I'm letting her back in. Maybe that will work. Don't you just love this technology and Wi-Fi? As soon as I'm not connected, we'll move inside. All right, good. Well, we'll see if that works. Invite. Emma Sadler. Invite. Yay. Hopefully this will do the trick. Not used to being a one-man show. I don't know what row I'm on now. Oh, yeah. So are you on the second pair of scrubs now, Helen, or are you on the first pair for the same lady that we were talking about the other day? Because I think anybody who's curvaceous struggles a bit, don't they, to just get well-fitting stuff. Currently making for hospital. Oh, excellent. They'll be very much appreciated. I keep looking through my fabrics, but I don't think I've got any quilting cotton or other suitable cotton. I tend to have bought t-shirt stuff, and I don't know that that's going to be any use for anything, but I did think about going through some of the old pillowcases and seeing if I could put ties through the top to see if they would make scrubs bags. Do you think that's worth a go? Let's see if we've got Emmy yet. I'm on Facebook at the moment and she's not there. Emma has been invited. Oh, excellent. Oh, there's Jackie. Hey, Jackie. We're having a few technical issues and Emma's struggling to join in. She's been in, but then lost her signal. So I don't know if she'll be able to join in again. We might have to stop and start again. I don't know. All right, so I was just asking Helen about scrubs. Best for scrubs is poly cotton, so it's strong. Pillowcases would be perfect for wash bags. Brilliant. I'll see what I've got. It might only be 2 or 3 because, you know, generally anything like that goes into dog bedding when I'm finished. But I might have a couple kicking about. Oh, Jackie says she has technical difficulties every time she tries to join in. But you've been able to comment today. So, you know, you're doing super well today. Just keep a quick eye on those comments. I'm not getting a notification that Emma's coming on. Check my phone. Says I'm connected, but you are in a meeting, so you will have to invite me. Okay, I'll do the invite thing again. It obviously doesn't do an email. Maybe it does a call, but you have to be logged in and connected. I don't know. Right, invite done. Oh, the laptop's being agreeable today, Jackie. That's good. I'm glad it's behaving. It's a bit naughty of it, wasn't it? I'm just checking in Zoom to see if Emma's here yet. Copy URL. Let's. Sorry about this. I don't know if part of it is just the system is so creaking at the moment with the number of people who are on Facebook and on the internet and using Wi-Fi and everything else. Oh, well, try that one. I don't know whether it sends her a different password each time though, and whether I keep doing it. I guess we're going to find out any second because I've emailed that one. Bizarre. Okay. Right, Emma, do you want me to leave this meeting and start a new one and go live again? If you comment on Facebook. and let me know if you can. Right, can't get in. Okay, I think the easiest thing is if we end this live and we'll come back on again in the group in the next couple of minutes, because I'll have to end this meeting to be able to invite Emma to another meeting. Don't you just love technology? See you in a minute.
Try again.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, it says we're live. I can't see without my sunglasses because it's too bright. It's too dark with them.
Oh, isn't that just always the way? Never mind. Oh, right. Live just now.
Yay.
Excuse me, I have a sudden urge to cough.
I really
It's
want
not
to
a persistent cough, though.
Well, I am literally 2 steps closer to my internet thingy. Oh, well. I'm the opposite side of the door now.
So Jackie's found us. That Emma Jane Sadler's found us. Goodness, she follows us everywhere.
You know what? I tell you what, she'll find you no matter where you're hiding.
That's good.
There's no
Helen's
escape.
joined us. Lovely. Thank you, ladies. Sorry about that.
Technology.
Love the Zoom.
The gremlins were just following me. I should have known, because even before we went live, it was playing up a bit, wasn't it, really? So
it was the touch, but never mind.
Yeah. Did I miss anything interesting apart from you laughing at me?
Not really. I think I was just laughing.
You should have taken the opportunity to talk about me behind my back.
Well, yeah, because you don't watch them. What were we talking about? Oh, scrubs and using pillowcases for scrubs bags.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I might have a couple. I don't think I'll have many, but I could probably figure out how to put a drawstring or something through, some sort of tie.
Was it last year that I did all that, like, Marie Kondoing of my house? I think it was last year, wasn't it? Last January.
Yeah.
I gave so many pillowcases away. You wouldn't believe it.
Just the way, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So are you able to comment on this one, Jackie, or are you? Has Emma jinxed it?
It's me. I'm sorry. I'm just like that friend that you all just like nod knowingly about me. You know, like yeah. You know, we just keep her around because for one we feel sorry for her, and for two she causes entertainment in all the wrong ways.
That's generally my job.
No, you're the technical one. You know what you're talking about. We keep you around because you know everything. So no matter what it is that we need to know, we just say, "Oh, Loraine will know."
It's just my Google foo is strong. I can find the answers rather than knowing the answers. Hello,
yeah. Hello, Jackie! Yay! Are we all here? Have we all made it?
You're just super showing off now.
That's what it is.
Okay. So just changing colour. Can you see?
Excellent. Yeah. Looking good.
It is. I'm really pleased with it. I don't know how much more I need to do. I probably need to measure around my neck and my extra quarantine chins.
From the chocolate. Is it the fruit and nut?
It could be the fruit and nut that did that. I'm calling it an allergic reaction, but I think I'm probably just retaining chocolates and chips.
My daughter's staring at me. One would assume that it's dinner time. Caitlin, can you get me a fresh water? That's like soup. Thank you. Are you going to come and say hello to everyone? No, she doesn't want to say hello.
Yeah, Jake said he was downstairs just before we joined on Zoom, and he said, "Are you about to go live?" And I said, "Yeah." "Oh, get out of the way."
These teenagers, hey?
Might make me talk to someone.
I don't want to talk.
He's got a beard.
Is it a quarantine beard?
He says it's his quarantine beard and he's keeping it until he goes back to work.
I love it.
I'm not sure he'll be able to stand it, to be honest. And I have to say, it's quite impressive compared to his dad's beard at a similar age. Because his dad always had sort of sparse patches round here.
Yeah.
On either side, and more so on one side than the other, where it was just like bum fluff and it wouldn't really grow.
A little bit of peach.
Yeah, so my mate at the time, bless him, a guy called John Hewitt, who was an artist.
Yeah.
He always said that it made Kevin look like Captain Kremen from the Kenny Everett show.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And at that point, he shaved it off.
Oh. I just have to admit that I really, really like a man with facial hair. I'm sorry. I do.
I'm not particularly a fan.
Really?
I'm not. No, I'm not. Having said that, his father has what Mike calls indelicately bugger grips. But, you know, sideburns like sort of Edwardian dad.
Oh, well, sideburns are different. That's not quite. I'm more like, you know, the George Michael stubble.
I don't mind a little bit of stubble. What I don't like is a full-blown beard with your back.
Oh, no. And I don't like these hipster beardy things, but I do like growth. I don't like a clean-shaven face. And I like a little bit of a long hair.
Well, by the time this quarantine's over, I might have stubble. I don't know.
I think we'll all have stubble. My legs have definitely got stubble.
Quick.
That's why we're doing a cowabunga to cover the stubble, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have to now run to the back door because there are Labradors scratching the back door. And if I don't
just to get me back, isn't it?
Coco barking. Yeah, so you're on your own now, just for a wee while.
Oh no! Shall I sing?
Run round the village.
I could sing. I could start singing. Hosanna, hey, Zana, Zana, Zana. Oh, and Brian May from my T-shirt was on the news this morning singing Hot Potato with what's the guy from Little Britain? He's been doing it. You got to do what Potato tells you to do. You got to stay inside and wash your hands. That was really good.
What was that, sir?
Saying that what's the guy called out Little Britain? He's been doing the potato songs.
Is it Matt Lucas?
That's the one. Yeah, he had Brian May on this morning.
Yeah, he's been doing that song, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been doing it with all the different celebrities. Rick Astley one was really good.
He did Gary Barlow.
Yes, that one was really good.
Pardon the expression.
I'm sure he would have liked to have done Gary Barlow.
Very possibly. Wouldn't mind myself.
Wouldn't kick him out of bed for farting, as they say. There was also someone on the telly, some woman from Emmerdale, I think she was, I don't know, I don't watch it. She said what we should all be doing, because she's done the same as me. She's got the box dye, but she's not using it because she said that we should all share our silvers. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see any of mine.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you see? I can see mine.
Yours look blonde rather than silver.
Oh, I don't know. There's a massive few there.
They look more
very
curly.
Textured. Yeah, they're the silver ones. There's a lot more than you think.
So is everybody, all our viewers, all our millions and millions of viewers, are they going to share their silvers with us? You've got to share the silver.
Let's have a look at those roots. Let's have a photograph. Yeah.
And apparently it's the trend on social media now to post pictures of your disastrous DIY haircuts.
Well, I was actually wearing that for a month before I went to the hairdressers, just before lockdown.
Right.
So I don't feel the need to, because I'm on video every day with that haircut.
I don't think it's a disastrous haircut. You did actually get yours done just before we all went into lockdown. I remember now. You went with Mum, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Yeah,
I
we had coffee in town.
I'm 2 weeks overdue now.
Oh, Helen says she's good for a few weeks because she went to the hairdresser a week before lockdown. Good planning there, Helen.
Just shocking. We got closed. Well, lockdown happened on the Monday night, didn't it? And my appointment had been booked in for the Thursday.
Oh.
So I didn't get to mine. But, oh well, you can't have everything. I was trying to find that post about the 5 things that you need for lockdown and that nobody's got all 5 of them. And I couldn't find it. I was searching on the internet. I'm sure it was on Twitter, but I couldn't find it.
I think I need to turn this light out. It's that bit better.
Yeah, beautiful. You're beautiful.
Well, obviously.
Obviously. He wrote that about you. Do you know he actually admits now that that's a really, really creepy song?
Oh, Jackie says that I have lovely grey roots and I don't mind. It shows my hair is grey. You've got lovely hair. See, I really celebrate my grey. I quite like it. And I've worked hard for these.
You know what? I'm hoping
badge of honour.
I'm actually hoping that when it grows a decent length, I've got enough of it and it looks all right, and then I won't ever have to spend all that money on getting my hair dyed again.
Well, no, you can just get the occasional trim to get rid of any split ends or
exactly. My hair hasn't been cut since before Christmas. Desperate.
Oh, I know what I was going to show you.
Oh, go on. Exciting. What's the matter? Is it your dinner time? Do you have to wait? Or you want to go back? I think he wants to go back out in the garden. You like the sun, don't you, darling? You like it out there? It's not nice for black doggies. It makes you too hot. Yes, it does.
Oh, you know when you house upside down looking for HDMI cables?
Yeah, you find DVDs that you've forgotten.
So this is Killing a Scully.
Just
back to Zoom to see whether you can.
I can see that. Yeah.
Politely titled The Whole Feckin' Package.
Yeah.
With patch short, with 2 T's. If you can get a copy of any of the series of this, it's very gentle humour, observational, very, very witty.
I wonder if you can stream it on Amazon or something, because you can stream most things off Amazon, can't you? Might have to pay for it.
I don't know. But in the same box, I found this.
That's sparkly.
It is super sparkly, isn't it? And I've got the markers in for the border, which I've started to do.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it and thinking the border's done. It just wants the ends woven in. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. My mum's birthday present for August. Sorted.
I'm gonna be like one of those mums whose child brings home a painting. I'm gonna say, oh, it's absolutely gorgeous, but what is it?
Yeah, it's a Doris Chan pattern. I think it's called Soft Serve or Lacy Top Pattern or something like that. I'll put the link when I sort out the videos for YouTube later. I'll put the link in Ravelry, where I put the podcast links there. I have got project pages because I've made quite a few of these, mostly for my mother because she just loves that pattern.
Oh, well.
And it's super easy and it's a free pattern.
Right.
And I had trouble getting logged in to get it because I'd lost the PDF and it wasn't called what it is.
Right, okay.
It got like a stupid numeric code name or something, like a product number. Of course, you don't remember stuff like that from 6 years ago.
Well, it's probably easy for them, but it's not so easy from a customer standpoint, is it? Yeah,
absolutely. And so, of course, I'm looking for this PDF. And then a friend said, well, it is free. It says it's free. So on that basis, they emailed me a copy. Of course, as soon as I then did a search on my laptop for that number, I found about 6 copies of the wretched thing. So obviously saved it in multiple places to avoid losing it, but not giving it a descriptive name. And then I thought I'd better show you this.
Oh, we've got lots of show and tells. That is gorgeous.
Well, it's not a pattern. It's not one of mine. It's Tin Can Knit. And is it called Love Note?
All right, I'm not sure, but it's lovely.
Typically,
yeah.
Hashtag
sleeve gate.
And the body's done about as long as
Lorraine?
I want. And these are oddballs of crofter that
I love that
Jackie
crofter.
gave me. Jackie, who's watching.
I actually am so pleased that even in these times, you are not changing anything about yourself, and we still have hashtag sleevegate. It is just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, I must have started this last summer.
It is gorgeous.
And
is that for you?
It is for me. And I wanted to get a warm colour at the top.
One that goes for your skin, yeah. Yeah,
and then the sort of khaki one that I can work with, and then go down to the cooler colours at the bottom. And then where's the other ball? Oh, it must be over there.
I was going to say, if you've got enough of it
I've got another
left.
ball of this lilac-y colour that'll have to be the sleeves.
Which is as far from your face as you can get it.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless I wander around like that, of course.
Like Vogue.
Yeah, which I shouldn't really need to do, should I? Jackie says she remembers me starting that one. It looks pretty and I need to finish it.
You do need to finish it.
Yeah, no change there.
You've got to do your mum's one first, have you? When's her birthday?
Oh, it's not till August, and I've just got the ends to weave in, and a feature button to put on, and that's it.
Then I would go for the sleeves on that first then.
Yeah. Well, I thought you'd like to see those.
Oh, yeah. You know, we love to see your whip.
Yeah, whip them out.
Whip them out. And your knitting as well.
Yeah, those as well. No, they're battened down. I've got my new bras. They just need to stretch a wee bit.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit like I'm bosomming out the top.
When lockdown is over and done with, one of the first things I'm going to do is go and get measured up and get some new bras. But not at the minute.
Oh, there you are. There's an email from Tesco telling me that I can register for free shopping for the whole of April 2020.
How do you get free shopping?
Oh, it's not free shopping. It's an email scam.
Oh.
Because the email is just a jumble of letters and spurious characters. It's just a scam.
Don't you just really hate that? Because somebody out there is going to fall for that, unfortunately.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
And what with all the talk of all these packages from the government on the TV and that, it's probably somebody elderly is going to read that and think, oh, that's the one from the government because I need to shield. Yeah. Apparently millions have been lost in scams over the coronavirus.
Yeah,
makes me so upset.
Sad, isn't it? I mean, I got a text from TSB the other day, and a card had expired on my PayPal account, so I'd replaced it with the new card.
Yeah.
And changed the method on the recurring payment for my Microsoft Office monthly thing. And then I got a text message from TSB saying, have you changed this payment? And you'll get a message from this mobile number. Reply to that message. And it just got my hackles up because I'm thinking, why can't I just reply to you on this number? And when I spent 30 minutes on the phone and eventually got to talk to someone and it was genuine, it was okay. So I know for the future. But she said, yes, it's amazing how many people query it. And I said, because they flaming need to.
Yeah.
they need to make sure it's genuine. And just because someone phones up and said, oh, it's, it's someone from such and such a company, I'm online while they're waffling and I'm putting them off for 5 minutes while I Google the number to see who it is and whether it's genuine or not. And if I'm not happy, I'll end the phone call.
But it's good though, because you've got enough about you to do that sort of thing. Some people, unfortunately, just are very trusting.
I know. I love the companies who send me an email to say, I love your website, suchandsuch.com. It's really lovely, but it's very hard to find. We can help you with your Google rankings. And I always say, well, you managed to find me.
Yeah.
So then it ends up in a protracted conversation where I waste masses of their time asking them lots more questions.
Nikki, I like your style.
I just think, well, what are you on?
Oh, it's like, just leave me be. I'm quite happy, thank you very much. Madness.
I know, silly, isn't it?
I haven't got much yarn left.
You know, let's have a looky.
So it's
flash.
Quick flash, and then I'm mid-row.
Yeah, you don't want to be ending up with a yarn chicken situation. Do you need to do a rib end or?
Yeah, well, I've been doing a garter border around all of them. To be fair, I'm quite happy to keep going and roughly gauge how many rows I'll get out of it and pull it back out again and redo it if I need to. No major hardship. It's only like a couple of rows.
That's true. Did you get my message earlier about the steaks?
I did. I read the blog. It looks very interesting, but I was listening to something on YouTube, so I didn't click the link at the time. But I did read the blog, and it sounds like it could be something of interest. Apart from I don't have any needle, felt and tools.
Oh, Helen's saying that bit gets to her when the bank phone and expect you to answer security questions.
Oh, that drives me mad.
One of my clients has sent his bank a 38-character password that they have to use when they phone him or he won't talk to them.
I love it.
And because they've acknowledged receipt of that, they've technically accepted that as part of the terms and conditions, because obviously a contract is a two-way thing. Mm-hmm. And both sides potentially can either change it or not accept it.
So, it does drive you mad though, doesn't it? It's like, hang on a minute, you rang me. How do I know you're who you say you are?
I know, and I shared a post on Facebook from the police today, and it's all these things like, what was your first car? Where did you grow up? Or stuff like that. And that's all fine. But these are all security questions, and these idiots are quite cheerfully answering away as if it's some sort of quiz and it's a bit of fun. No, it's not. Someone is going to steal everything you own, you moron.
I mean, for people like us of our generation and our age, a lot of that stuff, okay, yeah, you might put bits and pieces of it on Facebook, but most of it is in the past, don't think about it. But it's more the generation like our kids. And if they post in, oh, look at my first car, I'm really happy. And all you have to do then in like 10 years time is do a Google search on someone and they've got all these posts.
No, absolutely.
You know, and all the information's there because we didn't have it. We didn't post about our first car when we got it. We didn't post about going away on holiday for the first time and this, that, and the other. But the younger generation, it's all there.
Well, yeah, I kind of feel sorry for my cousins and nieces and nephews' kids because they're growing up online, you know, and like my niece Kirsty, she's a beautiful girl and she's got a little boy and a little girl. But, you know, there's posts on there about Isla's first poo in a potty. And I just think, I didn't need to know that. And certainly neither did anybody else or a potential employer.
Yeah, I mean, I've had conversations with my husband about not wanting to like have a conversation with a certain person because it would end up being about toilet routines of a certain young, and I don't want to say too much just in case, but you know what I'm getting at, but it's like, oh, I just can't have that conversation today.
Oh, one of my relatives, a further flung relative, commented one day, just a little post on Facebook, full publicly to everybody. Oh, that was a satisfying one. It was the size of a baby's arm. Excuse me? Who on earth needs to announce that they've been to the toilet?
TMI.
Is it just me that thinks?
I think it just says
my business.
I really think that it says a lot about what they've got going on in their life, though, doesn't it? You know, if you've got time to be posting things like that.
Yeah, Helen says she really limits what she puts on about the kids for that reason. Oh, absolutely. Jackie, are you still here? Are you still working on your blanket, your crochet blanket? She's got a kit from, now let me get this right.
Okay.
I can't remember if it's Woolzone or Woolstack. I think it's Woolzone, but I could be wrong. And it's a granny stripe-ish blanket, and it's using Drops Fable and Drops Delight, and you get
a lot of people like drops, don't they?
Yeah, the sock yarn, because of course it's machine wash and super light, and I think it's on 4mm hook. And of course the yarn was on sale for quite a few weeks in March.
Right.
I think it was about 31.50 or something like that for the blanket kit, and she had 2 colourways. Jackie's got the Stormy Skies or something like that, which is blues and greys.
Sounds lovely.
There's one called Festival, which I love. It's got a green version. I think is it Fable that's the patterned one of the yarns. I think it's Fable that is a bit like Crofter.
Oh, right, I like Crofter.
And the colour's called Guacamole. I love that it goes from yellow to green to little splashes of pink every now and then. It's just joyous. And that's that one. And then after the sale had finished, this lady put another kit up called Spring. Oh, and the colours are dreamy. They really are lovely. Oh, Helen's saying Drops is really good value. It is. It's an excellent price, even when it's not on sale. It's just fantastic. I am desperate to try Drop Sky, but I'm not sure what I'll make with it, to be honest. Helen says, love a crochet blanket, sounds lovely. They're so nice.
There's just something comforting and homey about a crochet blanket, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. For all I was such a tightwad, I wouldn't put the heating on yesterday. I snuggled under me half-finished blanket thinking, this is great.
Don't need it on today.
Oh, Deborah's just joined. Sorry, we had technical difficulties earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackie's saying, oh, yes, and she likes the Spring Garden one. That's going to be the next one she does. That was a really lovely combination, the Spring Garden.
Nice.
Yeah. I liked the blues and the greys of the one that Jackie's doing, and it would be very similar to this How Not to Crochet blanket that I have behind me.
That looks like a perfectly good crochet blanket.
Yeah, it's just got lots of extra chain spaces and things
but
like that in some of the squares.
See that.
No one knows.
No.
And once I'd washed it, you couldn't tell anyway. Just blocked the smaller ones bigger. It's fine.
Funny. Well, my, do you know Michelle, who often comes in?
Yeah.
She dropped something off for me today. I got a text message. I dropped you a cake on your bench outside your front door. So she made a fruit cake with gluten-free and no dairy or anything in it.
Oh.
It was delicious. I had it with a nice cup of tea this afternoon.
Oh, that's kind,
that's the kind of care package that I like. And I did say it was very tasty, and all future care packages will be gratefully received.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a really sweet idea. Oh, Jackie's saying 19 balls of wool in a kit. So there you 19. Are. What do I know?
Wow.
So, but it's 50 gram 4-ply. And
not 100 grams then.
With a 4mm hook.
Right, okay.
It's you know, it's not too tight or anything like that. Are you using a 4mm hook, Jackie, with yours? I would probably have to go up to a 4.5 because I'm just such a tight crochet. Kind of crochet like my life depended on it.
Well, you never know. One day it might, especially with all that's going on.
We how long were we joking about the poxy clips? And here we are.
The poxy clips is definitely here.
Yeah, I'll put a link to the kit for the blanket. I can't remember what it's called. Something stripe.
I'm going to start a baby blanket.
Oh, are you thinking cables or lace?
I am thinking cables. I do like a cable. Cable is actually my favourite. Apart from just knit in the round. If I'm actually going to do something interesting, cable is my favourite. And it's the first thing I learned to do, really, long before colour work or lace. I do enjoy a good cable.
Well, that's good. Helen's saying, my sourdough is improving. Just rang a friend and said collect a loaf on the way home, and he thought that was a good offering. I'm sure it is a very good offering. I might knit round myself. I'm not sure how I justify that as an essential trip, though.
Because sourdough is extremely difficult to do correctly. Therefore, it is essential because it's not something you could do yourself.
It's an art, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Jackie's confirming, yes, it's a 4mm hook. I thought it was, but yeah.
Dr. Hillary doesn't even think...
Sorry?
I was going to say, Dr. Hillary doesn't even think that going out to wash your car is essential at the moment. If you stood in the street washing your car down, I'm assuming that he thinks if you're on your drive, it's different. But if your car's parked on the road, he says it's not essential as long as you can see out the windows and you can see your number plates. Let it be dirty, because obviously a lot of people are doing things like that, aren't they? They've got nothing else to do.
Well, I think as long as you're a couple of metres apart from anybody else and you're not coughing and spluttering and snotting all over them, I don't see that it's a problem.
I don't see the problem. You're out in the fresh air. I think he's quite stern, this Dr. Hillary, you know. I've got a big, either bee or wasp. It's a wasp, I think. Oh, I try not to run away. I hate the wasp. It's not funny, don't laugh at me.
I'm laughing with you, honestly. Did you let him in, or is he just, yeah?
It's because the door's wide open, isn't it? It's come in, and Arthur's looking at it very interested. Don't try and eat it, Arthur. It'll hurt you.
Yeah, Mocker ate one once.
And never again.
No, never again.
No.
I'm not a fan of them. I think they're a bit like great white sharks. They're kind of pointless creatures who just exist to terrorise the rest of us.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're even... Are they pollinators or are they just horrid?
I think they might pollinate. I'm not sure.
Oh, there you are. Helen says she's not cleaning her car. It'll be dirty again before she uses it. Exactly. Not that she ever really cleans it. I think that once a year trip to Tesco's for the Polish lads to do my car is a treat enough for them. The only other time I would clean the car is if I was selling it.
I'm going to say something a bit controversial here because it could be misconstrued as sexist, but the only people I have ever come across who want to clean their car, who sit there and go, oh, I think I'll go out and clean the car now, just for something to do, are boys. Yeah, I don't know of any girls who just want to go out and clean their car because they've got nothing else to do.
Oh, Helen's agreeing that wasps don't do anything useful. Yeah, I can't think of anything useful that they do. They're just super mean. I mean, they're just really, they're like, do you remember the bully at school who was always shorter than everybody else but was just mean-spirited? That's like your average wasp, isn't it?
Apart from that was huge. That one was flipping giant haystacks and Big Daddy all rolled into one.
Might have been a queen.
Horrible.
Looking for somewhere to nest or...
It's gone out and Arthur's gone out, so I assume he's like followed it and watched what it's doing.
Well, okay.
He'll only ever eat
It's
one
not
once.
bothering you. Well, yeah, and as long as it's not bothering you, you don't want to get stung.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
These, on the
almost
other
at the
hand,
end
are
of my
fine.
coffee. Just give it a quick swirl.
Oh, I've nearly drank all my water that Caitlin got me. I'm really thirsty. I've been drinking a lot of water this week.
Have you?
Mm.
You've been running and stuff, though, and...
I did quite a fast run this morning, actually. I went on the treadmill and I did 4 kilometres in 25 minutes.
Right, for the rest of us, that's a dreadmill, not a treadmill.
Well, I had already walked the dog for an hour from sort of like 6:30. So, you know, I've been a good girl in sticking to the government guidelines, and I stayed indoors to do my exercise rather than sneaking a second one. I was a good girl.
Awesome.
But yeah, I was quite pleased with that because that's quite fast. That meant that if I could have possibly kept that pace up for another kilometre, which I couldn't, I had to stop, I'd have done 5k in 32 minutes, which is really fast for me at this time.
Oh, you little show off.
But no, I couldn't. I was absolutely just like... So I thought, right, I'll stop. And I did a cool down for 5 minutes, just walked. And I thought, even if I try and keep that pace and just go an extra couple of 100 meters each time, at least it's some kind of improvement. But then I talked to my husband and I said, I'm really proud I did this. And all I ever get in return is, yeah, that's really good, but you need to be able to do this.
Oh, that sounds just like Mike.
What is it with them? Why can't they just say, yeah, that's really good. You're getting back to your fitness. Well done.
Well, yeah, I always get, oh, you need to do this. Well, are you doing that? Well, no, but you need to, no. If you're not doing it, why should I need to do it?
Why is it a separate rule?
I do not know.
Are you going to do some more blankie work?
I am going to do some blankie work.
What colour are we on?
Staring at it and thinking what colour is next. And it is duck egg. And
I love duck egg.
Dawn blue. I mean, look at those two together. They're just...
Apparently, my wall, I mean, it's not really showing up properly on the camera, but apparently my kitchen wall is duck egg blue, but that looks more like a sea blue or something on the camera. But that is actually duck egg blue. It's not the blue that it looks.
Oh, well, when you turn the camera around, it looks a lot lighter than it does when you're in shot.
It's
so that probably gives
egg.
us a more accurate representation. It's a beautiful colour.
It is beautiful because it's blue. You know, mate, I like blue.
I would never have guessed.
Would you not?
No.
The sky is such a beautiful blue today. I think that's why I like blue, because it's just like nature. It's calming, isn't it? You just look at the sky and you just go, oh.
Whenever we went anywhere in the lakes with Jake's dad, and he'd be, oh, look at that colour, and I'd be looking at the sky and going, oh, that's a lovely cerulean blue, and I'd just be like, yeah, stop it. And it was because I was doing watercolours and I was just looking at them and seeing the paint colours. Now it's yarn colours. I'm sort of mentally going through this.
Yeah, stormy blue.
That I've got, yeah. Oh, bit of duck egg over there.
And whoever heard of the word cyan before we all got our own printers at home?
I know.
Nobody had ever heard
Yellow,
of that.
cyan, magenta, black. And the number of people who would be able to tell you that, but don't know which one is which. They don't know that magenta
they can't.
is the pink.
The magenta and the cyan, they're like, oh, nice. It's funny. Oh, I love it. First world problems, eh? Oh, look at that.
I know, it's so pretty, isn't it?
So what are you doing this evening then?
I have got some little bit of work to do on a website for Artemis, for kind of when things get back to normal, preparatory stuff. I've got a kind of a special offer for that to put together to bring in some short-term work and kind of help people getting back on their feet after all of the disruption. and I need to think about that.
Yeah.
But my plan tonight was probably, unless there's something super good on the telly that I just can't miss, which is fairly unlikely, I might just watch a few episodes of Killing a Scully on the DVD and
there you go. Sounds like a plan.
And have a really good laugh at it. I watched a couple of episodes on YouTube the other day and howled with laughter. It was just so funny and silly. And I love that when the new vicar arrives and he's called Philip Eno, but he's late and someone else arrives there who is a Filipino. And there's just this misunderstanding with the whole village.
Yeah.
You think that this poor tourist is the new vicar.
Love it.
He thinks he's being put up in these glorious digs and it's a hostel.
Brilliant. Oh, guess what? I've got to the point where I'm starting to knit really fast.
Yeah, yarn chicken.
Like,
I suppose what I could do as well is remake that little mask mate, but in a smaller size from the yarn chicken from yesterday, and sew the buttons onto the others because I found some other buttons that will fit. And then they've all got to go through the wash and a quick steam and be put into clean bags. And there's a couple to be dropped at my parents' for her friend Dale, who will pick them up when she's driving past.
Oh.
She's not allowed in. Bless. She's a home carer.
Right.
And she looks after someone on the street near where my parents live. So she drops off any shopping and things like that if mum's always forgetting stuff.
Right.
And then I'll drop some with them to go to the doctors because mum and dad have a season ticket at the doctors, which is just up the road, and they're going to take them to the GP practice for the nurses and doctors that are still seeing patients there.
Yeah,
they're not used to masks and a lot of this PPE. They're not used to having to wear them.
It's going to hurt, isn't it?
And they're all really uncomfortable. And the thing is, having poly cotton yarn, which will only wash at 40C, I could send them to the hospital, but then are they going to be what they need? Because it says they need 100% cotton. Well, I've not found a single 100% cotton yarn that it says you can wash at 60 centigrade safely.
Right.
So I'm assuming it's because most cotton yarns are not pre-shrunk. You know, in the way that, you know, jeans, you used to get jeans and in the 70s you buy them a size bigger because they were going to shrink.
Right. I don't know this. I never went through this.
No, of course, yeah. Different generation.
I think the first time I ever bought my own jeans, my first ones would have been early 90s, like 1990-ish.
Right.
I used to have a little part-time job down at the local fish and chip shop, an ice cream parlour, and I was obsessed with Lee Cooper jeans. Used to save up all my money and buy. I had a rainbow of Lee Cooper jeans. My favourite were the white ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sad, isn't it?
I used to buy Brutus.
What, British Empire?
Sadly not. Brutus.
Oh, I thought you said Britas.
No, Brutus. Because they're quite small on the waist, and I've got a small waist but a big bottom.
Right.
And they were a really good fit. And I remember getting some Gloria Vanderbilt jeans.
Ooh, were they posh?
They were ridiculously expensive for what they were.
Right. My sister was in the Pepes.
All right.
But my sister, she's like so skinny, bless her. She came out of hospital after having her first baby in a size 8 Pepe jeans. It's like, that's just not fair. I've never even been in a size 8 jean, let alone after having a baby.
Oh, I was in a size 8 a long time ago. Probably need the size 8 bum to go over one leg now.
Well, these ones that I'm wearing now, these crop ones, these fitted me nicely last year, as in they were comfortable to sit down in. but
Right.
they weren't falling down. Whereas now, I think you could get another person in them. They're huge on me. So,
Well, that's nice, isn't it?
yeah, they're my lounge around house jeans now, because you don't want tight jeans when you're sitting around. There's nothing worse. Tight jeans are for when you're going out shopping and you stood up and you're walking, and they look, you know, nice silhouette, nice bum shape, and you know, you
These
look
khaki, khaki jeans I've got on today. The first time I wore them was to go and have coffee with Jackie in Ulverston at Costa.
Yeah.
And honestly, I look like I've been poured in and someone had forgot to say when. They were so unbelievably tight, and I thought, oh, they'll give a bit. And then I realised that there's just no elastane in these jeans. They're as solid and stiff as it gets.
That's frustrating.
And I got to Costa and she said, oh, you're sat up very straight today. And I'm thinking, yeah, there's a reason for that. It's because I can't slouch or bend in any direction.
And I
thought my legs were going to be cut off.
Funny.
Now they're quite comfortable, but I'm aware that they're tighter than they were a few weeks ago. So I'm going to have to deal with that.
It'll all come. It's like I said about being kind. Do you know what? I actually had a thought earlier, because I think my husband had been saying that he was getting frustrated about not being able to be home and do all the jobs on the house. And then I started thinking, oh, there's stuff I should be doing and stuff I could be doing. And I think at the weekend I was getting frustrated with myself because I wasn't doing any of it, and I was like wasting time. And then I just had a word with myself, and I thought, I never did it before when I didn't have a job. And this is just like when I didn't have a job, really, apart from I would go to the shops on a Monday morning and I would go to my mother-in-law's on a Thursday. Other than that, you know, pretty much the rest of the time it's the same, and I never did it then. So what makes me think that I've suddenly had a personality transplant and I'm going to do it all now?
Yeah.
And I just need to stop getting frustrated with myself.
Well, I said to you the other week, didn't I, that I've always said that the house would be loads cleaner, loads tidier, and I would declutter. And the only reason I haven't done it is because I haven't got time. Well, newsflash, it's still not done. And I do have time. I just can't be bothered.
There's other things that you'd rather do.
This.
Yeah, this. Honestly. And we are so lucky that we can call this work, I suppose, can't we?
Yeah.
You know, but I just think I really was a bit despondent over the weekend. I definitely wasn't in a good mood.
Feeling great either, which probably didn't help.
Yeah, I think I was just tired. I hadn't slept for about 3 nights. Absolutely exhausted. And I think I've come through it with a better attitude now. I think we all go through it at some point, some of us quicker than others.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, I looked at my bedroom this morning and all these boxes and all the yarn and stuff like that, and I thought, do I refine my system of yarn, not yarn, fits, doesn't fit, or do I just, because I kind of mentally know roughly where most of it is. Do I want to change that, redistribute all the dust and faff about, or shall I just, my parents gave me a new bed frame, a pine bed, and I quite like the bed frame that I've got, but the one that they gave me has got these planks on a bit of fabric attached by fabric on either side,
right,
that I could screw in place with my own drill, because I have a drill and a hammer drill, because I love me power tools.
Yeah,
now that I've finally got some of my own, because I just got sick of Mike not doing jobs, and I got to the stage where I just started putting up mirrors, and I fitted all the Venetian blinds and did all the jobs that were never going to be done, and I'm so much happier just because they're done. They're not brilliant, but they're done. And I thought what I would do is get Jake to help me lift the mattress off. I can then vacuum both sides of the mattress and give it a good clean. And put this plank base over the one that's already there, that's starting to kind of go a little bit. And that would improve the firmness of the bed, and then I wouldn't have this sort of rolled up rack of bed base that's in my bedroom, driving me nuts because it's not on a bed frame, you know.
Yeah.
I thought I might do that when I change the bedding this week, and Jake's promised he will help.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not
How's
sure
he
about the
coping? Is he still quite happy?
Do you know, it's really hard to tell any difference to a standard week off from college or work.
My two are like that.
Because he lives in his bedroom when he's home. If he feels the need for company, he's either chatting online with his football mates who play FIFA with him on the, I call it the egg box to annoy him.
Yeah.
It's an Xbox of some variation.
Yeah.
And he plays games on that. He's got stuff on his laptop. He watches Netflix. He's got the Fire Stick upstairs that connects to the Netflix, the Disney Plus, the Amazon Prime account and all of that stuff. So he's got plenty up there to keep him amused. He's quite happy to loll about in his bed, and then he'll get up to go for a walk or a run or something like that when he thinks no one else is around. He'll go quite late at night with the head torch.
I think you're better off going out later now, actually, rather than getting up early. If my dog wasn't in such a routine, I would try walking him in the evening rather than in the morning.
Well, I think we've got another few days of somebody in season, and then we can head out for our trots again. But they'll have to have a BATH before we do that.
Yes, to remove all traces of smell and stuff. Yeah,
a Hibby scrub bath.
I came across a lady this morning on my dog walk, and I used to see her quite a bit. We were the only one. She's got a white boxer and 2 West Highland Terriers, and we were at some point in the winter the only ones that were ever using the fields. It didn't matter how muddy and mucky it got. The pair of us would still be out at 6:30, 7 o'clock walking our dogs. Anyway, I come across her this morning, and from a distance we stopped and had a chat, and I said, "Oh, I haven't seen you for ages." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I've been trying to come earlier." And I was like, "Well, I've been coming earlier as well, but I haven't seen you." She said, "Well, like, it's amazing, isn't it, the amount of people out with their dogs now." She's going, "Well, what gets me is that these poor dogs have probably been cooped up all their lives, and now all of a sudden they're being made to walk all the time."
Yeah.
It's like, where are all these people coming from? What I don't understand is the ones that walk their dogs. You've never seen them before, right? And they suddenly appear and they're walking their dogs in the fields, gorgeous open fields, on a lead, and then wondering why their dog wants to come and play with mine, and and telling their dog off.
Oh, Helen's saying what she finds funny is the number of people saying that they're bored. She's got 10 years of projects before she's bored. Yeah, absolutely, Helen. Yeah, completely agree. Jackie says, "Sorry, ladies, time to start making tea. Hope to catch you again." We'll see you next time, Jackie.
Bye, Jackie. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Well, to chat to you. Right, hang on. This yarn chicken, it is really touch and go.
Isn't it?
Oh, hang on. I could have done with another row or 2 of garter, but I've stopped. Hang on. Jeez, I don't think that this is going to be a very good amount of yarn to have left. Look, that's my 1 stitch. Yeah, but I can't weave it in anywhere, and if it's going to get washed, I can see that unraveling.
You could possibly get away with it in that if you put the needle part way through for the weave and then thread the needle and go.
But it's not really going to get much weaving in though, is it? I think it's going to be at danger of coming out. I think I'm going to have to pull. How close was that though? Like, if I could have just had even that amount.
Yeah, you'd be looking at that cast on tail now and thinking, "You beggar."
That's how much?
Yeah, it's not much, is it?
But it looks lovely.
Well, you could tink down, tink back, and then tink down and make your garter row. Or would it be faster just to rip those ones down and re-knit them?
I think I'll just take that last one row of garter out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But so that's how much you get out of it.
That's really good.
50 grams. That's 47 stitches wide on a 4mm. Looks all right, isn't it?
It does look nice.
It's nice baby pink and baby blue.
I think it's really pretty.
I thought I was going to make it.
Yeah, but that's just life.
That's life.
It's just how it is sometimes.
That's how it is at the moment, that's for sure.
Oh, well, it could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
We're not on a ventilator or anything like that.
We've got it so lucky. I've had my garden to enjoy today. Oh yeah, I was telling you before my thingy went weird that my husband's been moved out of his hotel again.
Where's he at now?
Well, he's in the Holiday Inn something now because the hotel got overtaken by the Ministry of Health to put COVID patients. I'm assuming they're going to use it as like a hospital.
Like a convalescent halfway house. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So anyway, he's got a letter that enables him to be able to travel for the next 48 hours. I think it starts at some point tomorrow. So he will be going back to his normal place of work and residence at some point over the next 48 hours.
That. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'll be pleased as well. Hopefully we'll have some, less fraught conversations now.
Well, he might calm down a bit. That would make life a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
that's really good news.
Yeah, I'm pleased for him. Just hope he gets back across the other side of the country in one piece. There's 3 of them going together.
Well, let's face it, there's not going to be a lot on the roads, is there?
No,
because
normally
trucks and essential transports.
Well, the roads out there are absolutely bonkers crazy. You've got a 3-lane motorway turned into a 5 or a 6 lane because they're using the hard shoulder and the central reservation, and they're beeping you and flashing their lights and zooming past you, and it's horrible because women can't. Well, when I was there, women couldn't drive. It was against the law.
Only recent, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, even if I could have done, I would not have wanted to drive out there. And Phil doesn't like driving out there. He drives to his normal place of work and back. But since they've been in Jeddah, he's been with a local guy. I was going to say lad, but he's not really a lad. He's a local man. And he's done all the driving. So, and then he's going to drive back. Phil said he'll take a turn. I'm assuming, like, once they get onto the big main roads, like you say, it shouldn't be too bad.
It should be a lot easier. I mean, it always reminds me of, is it Sanjeev Bhaskar that's in Unforgotten?
Oh, I love him.
A series in India, visiting relatives.
Right.
And they're driving along, and there's a headlight coming towards them, and he says to his cousin or whichever relative it is, "Oh, right, a motorbike." And he looked at him and he went, "Well, yeah, it could be a motorbike, or it could be 2 motorbikes, one with no headlight, carrying a wardrobe spun between them on a plank." He said, that was never on my list of things that I thought might be coming towards me.
Honestly, it's like that out in Saudi. It is crazy. And then, one time we were going to the airport, and there'd obviously been some kind of accident or something. And they'd shut one lane because there was a body laying in the lane, but then the rest of the lanes were still open. And so the policeman Well, it was 2 policemen and a body in one lane, and all the other lanes still had cars going past them. Honestly, it's just scary stuff.
Well, I'm sure he'll arrive safely and it'll be fine, and he'll be much
It
calmer.
will be fine. It will be
as a
fine.
consequence, just because
Yeah.
he's not stressing about the fact that he's not where he expected to be. And I dare say he won't have had the TV and the other stuff that he's used to amuse him.
And I don't think he felt particularly safe, really, to be honest.
Well, no, and I completely relate to that. I know Mike was in Argentina once years ago. It was Argentina. It was a South American country, and he said from the second he stepped off the plane for this board meeting, he said the hatred, the anxiety, the anger that was in the air, he said it was palpable. You could feel it.
Right.
And it felt like a country about to descend into riot. And the night that he was going home, there was a riot after he'd got on his plane. And he said he wasn't surprised. And he said it's one of the few times where he's laid awake all night. And he made me laugh, because this is like the atheist.
Yeah.
Sat clutching a flaming Gideon Bible.
It's funny what we turn to in times like that, though, isn't it?
It is.
It's just something familiar.
I took years ago, and he'd been to some hotel. Can't remember, was it somewhere south? Doesn't matter where it was, does it? But it was known for being haunted. And his wife thought it would be funny that they took the supposedly haunted room in this hotel. And he said, we thought it was just all a big joke. And he said, I have never felt so terrified in my life. He said, I sat with the Bible out of the drawer, held in front of me chest, and he said, I gripped that thing and cried all night, because he said, I was convinced I was going to die in that room. He said, Tina just went to sleep. All you could hear was her snoring. I honestly felt like something in that room was going to kill the pair of us if I as much as shut my eyes.
Right.
How weird. I don't know if that's like electromagnetic interference mucking up with the brain or what it is.
I think even if it's not, spirits or whatever, there's obviously something, because people pick up on vibes, don't they? You can even hear, when there's a telly on in the room, but you can't see the TV and it's on mute, you can tell that the telly's on because you can hear like that buzz, can't you? And there's obviously something in these places that for years, when stuff wasn't understood, it's been explained as a spirit, and then it's just carried on, I suppose.
We lived up at Lady Hall near Millham for a while when Jake was little.
Yeah.
And I was terrified of going in the bathroom. It was a massive bathroom, bigger than my kitchen is now.
Right.
Probably about 2/3 of what my living room is. It was a ridiculous sized bathroom for the bungalow. It had a living room with about 7 doors off it and no space to put furniture. And then a bathroom you could have a dance in. But I would never look in the mirrors in that bathroom, because I was always convinced that someone was stood behind me, that sensed presence. And I hated it, absolutely hated it. And then Kevin was driving to work one day past Muncaster Castle, driving to Sellafield. And it was about 5 a.m. It was just as so coming light. There was a line of traffic. He was at the front. He came round the corner to the gates of the castle, and a coach and 4 pulled out in front of them. And every one of the cars saw it. And he leapt out of the car to have a go and say, what are you doing pulling out into traffic like that? And there's nothing there.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And everybody got out of their cars, and they're all looking at one another and looking back, and then they all got back in their cars and just vaguely waved to one another. And he was really, as an ex-policeman, he's very practical, pragmatic, down to earth, don't believe in any of that old tosh. And he came home visibly shaken and determined to figure it out and analyse it. And a guy from Birmingham University came to see us, and he was doing a massive research project about a fault line that goes up the side of the UK and goes right the way through Muncaster Castle.
Right.
Goes through my house here,
All right.
bizarrely, follows the stone circles, and it's a known fault line. It's quite a bizarre thing. But every house in this village that the line goes through has reported problems with either tenants moving out after a few months, one in particular where men can stay in it, but if women stay there, they're pushed down the stairs.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's always changing hands every few months. It's ridiculous. Now, when I moved in here, and I don't know what was happening, I can't explain what happened to me in this house. I really can't. But I was pushed at the top of the stairs. I was in bed. The opposite side of the bedroom, which is a long room, it's the width of the house. And there was no yarn or any of that stuff there. That was all packed away. And there was a ladder leaning at an angle like this against the wardrobes because I've been putting stuff onto the top of the very tall wardrobe. And that ladder came across the room and hit the bed.
Oh my God.
And I think, I don't believe I've actually just seen this. It must have been at a stupid angle. Something must have tipped it. There must have been a mini earthquake or a tremor that I wasn't aware of. And the dog wouldn't come into the room, and she always slept on the floor in the bedroom or under the bed.
Mm.
She wouldn't come in, and stuff like that was going on. And I thought, this is getting ridiculous now. I'm going to get hurt. Whether it's something in my head, I need some help. And I phoned my dad and I said, I don't know who to talk to. And he got in touch with the vicar at Haverthwaite, Derek. And I thought, he's going to laugh at me. And he didn't.
Right.
He came to see me at the house. And he brought a load of gear with him. And Jake was at school. Dad had got him to school. Mum wouldn't come to the house. And as I was dropping Jake off so that she and Dad were taking him to school and I was going back to meet Derek, I just, you turn around as you're leaving, and I sort of went, oh, have you got a mop I can borrow and a bucket? He said, yeah, what for? Goes to get them. And I said, well, it's just in case there's any head spinning and vomiting, like in The Exorcist. Oh, stop it, she said, freaking me out. Of course, I go to the house. Dad comes with me. Derek is there. He does a blessing in the house. He'd researched the previous occupants from when it was built in the 60s. He went through all of these names of all of these people who've been on the electoral roll and did the understairs cupboard, did the garage out the back, not even attached to the house. Dad goes off. Derek stays, has a cup of tea. And we're just chatting away. And I said, how many of these do you do then? Because I half expected that there would be somebody at the diocese at Carlisle, like a Mr. Bean type person that they kind of blow the dust off and bring him out once a century. And he admitted that he does one every week.
Blimey.
And I'm nearly always in rented accommodation because there's high turnover.
Right.
And nobody ever fixes the problem until one person says, hang on, this is my home and I'm not moving. Which was the attitude I had. My dad gets Jake. Jake comes wandering into the house. He's 5, maybe. And he came in and he went, oh, hello, Uncle Derek. Goes and gives him a big hug. I get a kiss, all the rest of it. And he says, what have you done with the house? And I said, oh, Uncle Derek's come from the church to give it a blessing. Isn't that nice? Do you know, it feels like there's room enough for us to fit in now. It was very crowded before, he said. And that funny man who kept making me up at night to give me sweets, he was a real pest. I walked upstairs.
Oh, don't. I've gone proper goosebump. Can you see the goosebumps on my arm?
Well, I honestly never saw anyone or anything like that. And I can't explain it. It might have been stress. I don't know. Could have been magic.
Yeah, but has it worked?
Well, we've never had a problem since.
Well, exactly. My mum believes in it all. My mum had a flat and she said she had a ghost and they called it Fred. And my brother would always cry. He hated his room and it was always cold. And I mean, I don't know. My mum's got loads of stories about Fred, but the one that I remember is that my dad always used to put his slippers next to the bed so that when he got up in the morning, he could put his feet in them because we didn't have any carpet. It was cold. Yeah. And the slippers were missing. They'd been missing for absolutely ages, like weeks. And my mum turned around and went, Fred, Paul doesn't mind you borrowing his slippers, but can you please put them back so that he can use them sometime? And the next morning, they were next to the bed again.
Isn't that funny? Now, my auntie and uncle had a house in Worsley, Manchester.
Yeah.
Lived there for years. And you'd be sat watching telly and you'd hear someone run down the stairs and stuff like that. And Carol would just say, oh, it's all right, it's just George. Well, who's George? Well, that's just what we call him. It's no bother. So yeah, it's the time we went home.
They're the ones that you don't mind if they're not a bother, but it's the ones that want you out, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see the others? The movie, Nicole Kidman?
I've seen part of it and I found it rather creepy. So I wasn't really,
It really creeped me out. I keep trying to watch it with Caitlin because that's the sort of movie that I think she'd like.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't sleep. I watched Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis.
Oh, the first time I watched that creeped me out. Caitlin just went, oh, that was pants, wasn't
it? It did creep me out.
Well, she guessed it, I think.
But I'd guessed.
I hadn't.
Yeah, I'd figured that he was already dead.
No,
but he didn't know.
But when you watch it the second time, you can see all the clues.
Well, yeah, because nobody ever actually spoke to him directly, did they?
No, and the door was locked or something, wasn't it? But he could go in and out. Or I can't really remember. There was something about red as well, wasn't there? But I can't remember it. It wasn't, because the first time I watched it, it really, really freaked me out, and I hadn't guessed it, and I thought it was brilliant. So I made Caitlin watch it with me, and she saw through it. She's like her dad, one of those ones you can't take to the cinema because he's like seen it. No, you haven't seen it. Well, this happens and that happens and this happens and that does happen. But it's like, you haven't seen it before, you just guess. So, yeah.
I can usually guess, but with the first time I watched that, no. Right up until probably the last 10 minutes where suddenly the penny dropped.
Yeah. It was very well done.
Yeah. And it did completely creep me out. It was, yeah.
Yeah, and on that note, I think it's tea time, you know.
It is tea time. It's a wonder Arthur hasn't been into absolutely.
He's laid by my feet. He did protest at one point, and then he just like flopped down.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
He's been.
I need a wee. I've drank a cup of tea and a cup of water, haven't I?
Well, there you are. Well, we'll say thank you for your company, ladies, and everybody for popping in.
Is it knit night tomorrow night? I've forgotten what day it is.
It's Wednesday, is it? So yes, it's knit night tomorrow night.
Cool.
So what time are we on? About 6:30.
Yeah, I'll get the wine out. Helen, if you're still with us, I'll get the wine out.
Yeah, worth a watch. Yeah, she's always good value.
When I've had the wine, yeah.
We'll have a quick wave and see you tomorrow.